And so, yeah, here we have a U.S. institution more or less importing what are the suggested guidelines. I note that they're suggested because they're not yet adopted in Canada. We'll get more into the specifics there. But basically taking what's happened in Canada at face value without any critical review whatsoever.
Yeah. And I have to open that can of worms about trusting public health experts during COVID, because it's in the irony of the same health experts that told you that you couldn't leave your house and told you what you couldn't do, that you were non-essential. One thing that we know that definitely happened during the government's response to COVID, the lockdowns, was a spike in alcoholism.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody agrees with this, and typically they blame the pandemic, but I would absolutely not blame the pandemic. I would blame government policies that not only forced people to stay home, work from home, but while they were closing a lot of restaurants, they were keeping liquor stores open.
Yes, they were.
So we wouldn't be surprised if people binge watching things on Netflix and ordering beer from Drizzly. Of course they got, and so like one of the pendulum swing, I think is now these same public health experts are saying, wow, there's a spike in alcoholism. We should do something about that too.
Yeah, to a certain extent, they've kind of capitalized on that unfortunate trend. I mean, it's a predictable one. It correlates with all sorts of really ugly things in society, whether it be domestic disputes or other forms of violence or other forms of drug abuse and
crime.
So. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
You name it. I mean, if you make people we are not solitary creatures. We are social animals, and part of the human experience over the eons has been enjoying a drink with friends.
Yeah.
And you took that away from people. You left them at home.
I actually think it's the only glue that holds society together, but maybe that's a radical opinion.
You'd be surprised. There's some academic research on. I think the book is like how human society drunkenly stumbled into civilization.
Yeah.
There is some good research there on the value that alcohol has in moderation as a social lubricant, getting people talking, getting people having fun. The link between opening up a beer and watching your favorite football team or celebrating the fact that your cousin got married. They might sound trivial, but when and this is what the pandemic highlights, when you steal those from people, that's when you're stuck at home. Yeah, you have Netflix, and yeah, you can order food maybe to your door, but you run out of things to do. And that's where responsible consumption can become irresponsible, and you get that ugly side of the discussion. But that doesn't mean that responsible drinking is all of a sudden some monumental health risk. And that's what I've been writing on lately.